one of the things she mentioned is that we do have the site of Kateri2's village, and it's a fully excavated Mohawk village from the 1600s.
That's right in Fonda, New York.
Yep.
And that's on, what is that, Route 5?
5, west of Fonda, just west of Fonda. But besides the archaeological dig, where you can see the outlines of the 12 longhouses and the double stockade, there's a beautiful spring where they drew their water from that still runs there. That's a place of devotion now because we believe Kateri was one of the people who went to that well and drew water. And also we have a wonderful Native American exhibit beneath the beautiful Mohawk-style chapel that we have.
It's very unusual.
Yeah.
So authentic. And it's really a dramatic thing to see as true, because the reason we're doing the program was I was on my way upstate, and I thought, well, let me take another look at the chapel, because I haven't been there in many years, and it's so authentic and rustic.
Fascinating.
And then there's the, downstairs is the
museum.
The museum. And then you have the gift shop.
And a little candle chapel, you know, which is open all year, even in the dead of winter.
Oh, is that right? Right. So what is the most important thing that you'd like to tell the millions of people who will be watching this program about Kateri?
Well, how about the new project we have
Ask
planned?
for prayers.
Prayers?
Prayers,
canonization.
And for what direction?
I should have said that, right?
What direction are we praying for?
For her canonization. And for all the various programs that we want to start at Fonda.
Could you give me an example of a program?
One of the things that we, Father had just put together a board, and one of the things that we wanted to do was build a lawn house. Now this was Father Schultz's dream, to have a lawn house there, pretty much like the way my people used to live. However, we couldn't afford that. So, but we do have a house that's lawn, and we're going to have various children come, maybe confirmation classes, or maybe do retreats for whoever wants to come. And while they're on the property, we could show them the life story of the Cahuita, tell them about it, and Father usually goes up to the chapel with children that come and tells them our life story.
Yeah. In this year of 2005, do we believe by prayer that the Blessed will become canonized within our lifetime?
I do.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah, I do.
She only needs one miracle,
when she was
one
beatified,
single
it
miracle.
was just unbelievable. We all went to Rome, Italy, when the Cahuita was beatified, and we all saw the Holy Father, had an audience with him 3 times.
Oh,
We
wow.
went to meet with the Native Americans. This,
Even Jimmy Carter showed up. Right?
yes, and
President Carter.
who was then
Oh, he did?
president. And him and his wife showed up and greeted us, and it was just a wonderful experience for us.
Well, I'm looking forward to going for a canonization, and even though the Pope made an exception for beatification by beatifying her without a miracle, he said he will insist on one for her canonization. Just one little miracle. So everybody has to pray for that miracle. Pray very hard.
And miracles are going on all the time, but nothing that the church can accept, because the miracles
Are we
are
talking
so-
about a medical miracle?
Yeah.
Medical,
Like
all
Lourdes.
kinds
Is
of
that what we're talking about?
miracles,
Yeah.
Not this television show. That wouldn't classify, would it?
Well, maybe.
Well, we'll
yes.
see how it
That
turns
miracle,
out.
hopefully people that see it do pray.
Yeah, they'll be praying for us, too.
Yeah.
So, this is very interesting. Are there many Mohawks who are now Catholics?
At one time, about 95% of the people were practicing Catholics. Now, I don't think there's 5% that are practicing.
That's one of the reasons why we want this program, the Longhouse Retreat program, to bring children from the reservation and really share with them the roots of their culture and the faith of Kateri in the place where it all took place and started. You know?
But
Very
this won't
important.
be just for Native Americans. It'll be for everybody.
Yeah,
all
and everybody
groups
else
that want
well.
to come and learn about the Cahuita. And there's a group of us, natives, that are there that are going to teach making dream catchers or corn husk dolls or even baskets, beadwork, and also maybe celebrate a Mass and kind of incorporate some of our customs and traditions within the Mass, which we do now, but we could do that with other children, and they're fascinated whenever we do that, you know.
I think it's a compliment to the Mohawk culture that this would take place, because this is not being done generally anywhere else, is it? I mean, incorporating the Mohawk culture with the American way of life, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it's done in other tribal jurisdictions. You know, there's a Tekawitha conference that's held every year in the summer, where people devoted to Kateri come together.
Where is that?
Well, it's in a different area, a different college campus every year.
Oh,
usually out west, where most of the native people are, driven there by the Europeans. But I lost my train of thought.
Well, yeah, the culture of the American, the culture of the country.
There is an enculturation too, not only by Catholics but by other Christian denominations too, on the various reservations in the country. But I think it's especially beautifully done by the Mohawks in their liturgies. They have so much ancient culture to share and to integrate into the Catholic liturgy.
Well, it took some time for Oresville to build up its beautiful area. I mean, that wasn't done overnight. St. Isaac Joe's and the Jesuits are there, but this is a gradual process, because when I saw it, and I haven't seen it for years, I was up there just this summer when I met you, the grounds, and you have nice places for children and people to come to have lunch and celebrate whatever they're coming up there for. Eventually, maybe you'll build a retreat house.
Well, this is a little tiny retreat house. But
I mean, overnight retreat house.
Oh, yeah, this will be overnight.
Oh, well, oh, yeah. Oh,
and
that's
it's modeled
nice.
like the longhouse. It's about the size of a longhouse, and they'll have a little slight experience of being in a Mohawk longhouse, we hope, because we're going to decorate it inside as if it were a longhouse. My experience dealing with young people who come for retreats where we share with them Indian, and Indian is all right to say, isn't it? Once
Sure,
in a while.
I don't mind it.
Oh, as opposed to
Native American.
Native
which is more
Americans.
politically correct, but the children really respond to the Indian rituals. They might be turned off to every other form of devotion, but when you introduce to them Indian rituals, they love to participate in them, and it really inspires them.
You know, it's interesting you would talk about this children, because now I'm just thinking back, which I haven't thought about in years. Someone had given me a birthday present of a book of Native American Indians. And I think now, as you just brought it back, I used to read those books over and over and over again, because each one was so unusually different, and each culture was a little bit different. And I remember the ones out in the West, where they had Pueblo. Was that a Pueblo Indian? I think way out in the West. So what's going to be happening with this year? Anything special coming up in the year 2005 in the shrine?
We have a whole schedule.
Well, the initiation of our new retreat center for young people. That's the biggest thing that we want to do this year, get that off the ground.
During the Tekawitha's feast, we usually have...
What date is that?
We're going to celebrate it the 10th this year.
Of?
July the 14th it is, but it'll be the weekend before, the 10th.
And we usually have a deacon from Kahnawak in Montreal come down, and he'll do the smudge. And he does a healing service. And this is part of the Mass, too, that when we have a Mass to do the smudging. But that's the fascination of it, too. It's just smoke, and you blow it on yourself as a cleansing, to cleanse yourself before you go to the altar of God, you know.
And it's very appropriate for the penitential rite, because that's exactly what we're doing, is cleansing our hearts of our sins and asking God to prepare us to more fully receive His Word and appreciate the gift of the Eucharist.
That's on the July 10th weekend, but the deacon usually stays, and the deacon is Ojibwa Indian.
A what?
Ojibwa or
Ojibwa.
Ojibwe.
From New York
From
State?
Ganawak, near Montreal.
Oh, I see.
He's married to a Mohawk woman named Sheila. And they come down every year, and he does the healing service. And people love that.
And he's the deacon at the church where Kateri is buried.
Oh, I see.
St. Francis Xavier
Yeah.
Church.
So you can visit that church,
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
sure.
and
Yeah.
you can actually visit it and
Ask for the deacon, and he'll give you a tour.
give you a tour.
His name is Deacon Ron Boyer.
Well, I can see our next television show will be in the shrine where she's buried up there, and we'll
Wouldn't that be
combine the
something?
two.
I'd
Very-
be glad to drive up and help you with that, sure.
That would be beautiful.
Although I'm sure the deacon will want to be in the center chair doing most of the talking.
He's good at it.
Oh,
He's
is he?
really
Oh,
good at it.
yeah, he loves
He's terrific.
to share.
I was just thinking of something. Well, he would like to share in it. Can you speak the Mohawk language?
Yes, I can speak Indian.
Say something that we would recognize, like,
Sego, hello,
yeah, say hello.
goodbye,
Sego.
Ona.
Onagawa'i.
Oh, you do too?
Well, hello and goodbye and a few other things.
What about so long, farewell, I'll be just saying goodbye? Any of that?
We
Oh,
were
she
listening to
sings
them.
very well. We were listening to some Mohawk Christmas carols on a CD on the way up.
Oh, you
All the way
sing
down.
too?
A little bit when I have to.
Do you do a cappella or do you sing with a musical, like,
A new musical instrument. It's
Drums
called
and
rattles.
oh, you
Drums and
do?
rattles.
Or a drum.
Is that right?
Sometimes
right here,
a
you mean?
guitar, sometimes a guitar, right?
Yeah, it depends on whatever they bring up.
Oh, this is very interesting, right? Oh, wow. So then maybe you can make some CDs and records.
They
And,
did make it.
Oh, you did already?
And a girl on a reservation named Bernice Lazor and her group did a beautiful tape. Just this, and they're going to be on television. At Dateline, I guess, next year.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, just
Dateline.
before Christmas.
We'll have to get this show out before she scoops us up on Dateline.
Yes. And
Oh, wow. So the thing is that, are you one of many that are interested in, or are you a unique person, being a native of, being of the Mohawk tribe? Are there many of you that are interested in this culture, or are you unique?
many of us,
Is that right?
most of us, yes.
And you expect this to grow? We
yeah,
hope.
I think it is growing leaps and bounds. Through the National Takakwita conference, we have Kateri circles. I'm not sure how many circles there are now. The last I remember was 155. And
about that,
last year we started a prayer circle at the shrine, so there's another one. And then this, in a couple of days or a couple of weeks, we're going to start one in Syracuse. They
Oh.
already have the Kateri Takakwita committee in Syracuse at St. Lucy's Church, but we're going to see if we're going to ask Father if we could have one in Assumption.
Oh, wow. And as I mentioned before, we're not running out of questions, nor are we running out of answers, but of course, we're running out of time.
Right.
Thank you very much for being my very special guest today, Father Kevin.
Thanks for having
And-
Thank you
us.
for having us.
Saint Sarah.
Yeah.
It was a delight.
Right.
And this is Tom O'Connor for Heaven Bless the Little Ones. We now will be making a pilgrimage up to Fonda, New York, where the shrine of this beloved saint is being honored on a yearly basis. And everyone is invited to share in the culture of the Mohawk Indians. Thank you very much for being watching our show this evening. And again, thank you very much for being my very special guest.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.